As the weather starts cooling down, those of us with greenhouses start thinking about ways of keeping the greenhouse warm. Sometimes we do that by means of an actual wood stove or an electric or gas heater. Another thing that a lot of people use is something called a terracotta heater. Basically what that is vegetable shortening with a candle stuck in it and a flower pot upside down over the top. The candle heats up the clay pot and the pot radiates heat. That's the basic idea. Well, I think I have a better way, in the sense that I don't just use one terracotta pot and I don't use a candle. Let me show you. The fuel source in a terracotta heater is usually vegetable shortening. In this instance, I'm using Crisco, but it's any brand, it can be generic, whatever. The size of the particular tub of vegetable shortening will depend on the size of the pots that you're using. For me, I have found that this 48-ounce tub works well. And then what I would do in the past is I would jam, say, 3 candles down into the center of that, make sure that they're trimmed off so that they're the right height. And that would be the fuel source and the heater source for my terracotta heater. I have changed this particular design over the years because what would happen is you would jam the candles down in, and as you did, you would need to use like a painter's putty knife to scrape out all the excess that gets forced out of the tub as you force the candles down in. And that's less than optimal. And so now this is what I do when I make a new heater for the terracotta heater. So what I do is I try to make out a little space right here in the center of the tub. I use some piping that I have a lot of this irrigation piping from when I set up the irrigation on the property. And then what I do, instead of using candles, is I use wicks from candles. You can get these at craft stores or on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. And then what you need to do, I have an old curtain rod, and what I do is I place the wicks into this piece of pipe. And then what I do is I jam it down into the bottom. Now I have a candle that has the amount of wicks right down into the middle of it. And then I just need to use something to kind of poke the Crisco down around the edges to make sure that it doesn't burn down too quickly. One thing you can do is place the additional Crisco down like that. All right, there you have it. I cut the wicks off. And now you are ready to go to put this into your terracotta heater. So here's everything that you need to assemble the terracotta heater. I showed you how to make the candle itself, which has got candle wicks inside a tub of vegetable shortening. And then you need a terracotta tray with 3 terracotta feet that are used to hold planters up off of the ground. These are easily available at hardware stores. You can get them online. And then you need a large terracotta pot that will fit around, that's approximately the same size or slightly smaller than the terracotta tray. And so what I do is I place the candle in the middle and I light it. Then the large terracotta pot is placed over this. It's important that there's a gap there for the flame to have enough oxygen. And then I stack up smaller terracotta pots. Everything has to be terracotta, every last one of these, because these get hot and anything else will melt. And then there you have it. That, I have found, is the best way of capturing the hot air out of the candle in each of these little chambers and then you can get a terracotta heater that will last a long time. So there you go. That's how I make a terracotta heater. Now, that's not the only way that I heat my greenhouse. I have actually quite a few different ways, and I made a separate video about 15 ways or methods that I use to keep my greenhouse warm in the winter. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. And if you like this video, you might like these.